And take a moment to come fully present. So let go of the day, all that has been, all that is yet to be, and just focus on your breathing for a moment here. And just follow your breath in and out. Spirit of life and love and all that is good and worthy, we give thanks this morning to be together and to explore these high energy ideas, explore the truth. We give thanks for the blessings that come from investing ourselves here today. And so we are open and receptive to your spirit, the living spirit of truth, who guides us and leads us in this time so that we hear what we need to hear, say what needs to be said, and so that we can go forward and do what you would have us do. Amen? Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so going around the circle, I'm going to start here in the classroom. Oh, if each of you would think of one thing you're grateful for, just one, although there are probably many, many. Think of one thing the first thing that comes to your mind this morning. Diane?
The warmer weather.
The warmer weather, amen, amen. Karen?
That I'm here right now.
Yay!
Spending a few minutes with Cleo. I'm definitely grateful for my husband. It's been 43 years and we're best friends.
Oh, is it your anniversary today?
No, I'm just grateful for my husband.
Oh, what a wonderful thing to say, Judy. Be able to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mort?
Well, I am grateful for unity
Mm.
because unity has brought me into an area that I've never had before,
Mm.
and that's centering myself in spirituality. So I'm really thankful.
Mm. Thank you. And Sig, what are you grateful for today? One thing.
Can I hear you?
Unmute. Not yet, not yet. There you go.
Well, I heard from my best friend in Georgia, and she has had both her shots, but she has had several of her friends die from COVID. So I'm grateful.
Grateful that
Not
you
that they died, but I'm grateful she's okay.
Yeah. Did you get your shots yet?
Oh, I've got both of them, yeah.
Yay. Okay, thank you. Let's go on to Eileen and Judy. Eileen, one thing you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for the beautiful weather to golf in.
We are going to get a golf group going on here because
That
more
sounds
golfs. Who else in here? Anyone else golf?
I haven't for 3 years, but I do.
Karen golf.
I got clubs.
We're going to get the Unity Spiritual Center golf team together.
Judy.
Judy?
Yes, I'm grateful for being able to do my artwork with vigor.
Thanks, Judy. Hey, Alva. One thing you're grateful for, Alva. Unmute, Alva. There you go.
Well, I'm grateful that I made it to the age of 73. Today is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So I'm grateful for that.
Thank you for spending it here with us today, at least a little of your birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Kathy, one thing.
Math.
Grateful for Mac, yeah. You know what I mean, most people in this church. Yeah, thank you. And Carol?
I'm grateful that we're getting out more now that we've had our vaccines. Still with masks, but able to get out a little more.
Oh, good. You had both shots?
Yes.
Oh, fabulous. Everyone who has had shots, you know, it's like the best Christmas present ever.
Yes.
Door to freedom.
Such a relief. Yeah, door to freedom. Bill, one thing you're grateful for?
I think we're both grateful for having our internet service this morning because we didn't have it as effective 5 o'clock last night. So we're up and running.
We weren't sure we could come to class today, but we're here.
Great. And I also grateful for the weather. And I'm also grateful that it's staying lighter later. Okay, so can you get that this is creating an energy field right here? You know, when you get into gratitude, you're at high energy thoughts. And so prayer, gratitude. And now, one more thing before we launch into the abundance. And that is, remember, reflect for a moment on one thing that you are proud of. One thing that you are proud of. And it doesn't have to be this year, it doesn't have to be last year. It can be the first thing that comes to your mind, something you're proud of. I will start online this time. So I'm gonna start with you, Carol. One thing you're proud of.
I guess I'm proud of having written a really complicated database program for the Heard Museum Indian Fair and Market.
Yay, we are
Can
too.
you repeat
Thank
it?
you.
Can you repeat what?
Oh, would you say that again, Carol? They didn't hear you here.
Oh, I said I was proud of having written a complicated database program for the Heard Museum Indian Fair and Market, which is happening, I think, next week. They're still using it, and I wrote it like 12 years ago.
Wow, wow. She wrote a complicated database program. Yeah, that they're using. Who's using it, Carol?
The Heard Museum.
The Heard Museum, the Indian
Heard
Museum downtown.
Museum. Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, great, thank you. Bill, one thing you're proud of.
I'm proud that I'm trying to maintain 30 years of retirement after working for General Motors for 30 years. I'm 2/3 of the way through.
Oh, thank you, that's great, great. Kathy?
My writing skills.
Yeah, you're very good. Yes. Alva, one thing you're proud of.
Serving my country.
Oh, thank you. Serving his country. Judy?
Drew a blank. I'm proud of recognizing the synchronicity in my life these days. It's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Great. Eileen?
I'm proud of my pioneer heritage that has given me the ability to stay alive in spite of adversity.
Oh, thank you. Very important. Say?
Let me know if this is
I'm
better.
proud of my children.
You're proud of your children? Oh. Okay, I'm knowing that they're feeling that across the miles. Diane?
I'm proud of the art quilt that I just finished.
Oh, great. Diane, I don't know if you can hear. I'm going to repeat because sometimes they can't hear. Diane is proud of the art quilt that she just finished.
Good.
Karen?
I'm proud of my sculptures.
Yes, yes. Karen's proud of her sculptures.
I'm proud when I can be helpful to others.
Linda said that you can be helpful to others. Judy?
I'm proud of my Polish family heritage. My grandfather came here all alone when he was 16.
Wow.
And here I am.
Wow. Yeah, Judy was saying she's proud of her Polish heritage, that her granddad came here when he was 16 all by himself. Isn't that interesting? It's a bravery.
Amazing.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Mort?
I'm proud of my wife and our relationship.
Oh, yeah.
It has grown and grown.
Oh, how beautiful. I don't know, did you hear Mort? Proud of his relationship with Kathy. It keeps getting better and better. Boy, that's something to be proud of, isn't it, in this day and age, that your relationship is getting better and better rather than worse and worse?
Well, I think in the bio that I sent in, we've known and married 43 years.
43 years.
Right.
And how many?
43.
Yeah,
That's a
okay,
magic
right.
number, huh? Wow. Okay, and I'm proud of having done what it takes to get 4 books written and published.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all for sharing that. Really appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna take some deep breaths first. And while you're closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths, I'm gonna read you a piece on prosperity from my metaphysics book. So just close your eyes and let the words touch you however they do. Prosperity is the abundance of every good thing our hearts desire. This blessing originates in God, the source of all good. It is manifested in our lives through our enlightened use of divine ideas of good with which God inspires us. When we consciously work with these ideas and use them wisely and lovingly, bountiful blessings will flow into our lives. As our awareness increases of the infinite supply which is perpetually available to us, our prosperity demonstration will also increase. Our every need will be abundantly met in the most appropriate and fulfilling ways. So take a couple more deep breaths and just let that settle for a minute. So divine ideas, using divine ideas for good. And so open your eyes when you're ready. Okay, so here we are in a prosperity class. I wanted to review a few things. Uh-oh. There we go. A couple of things that we've gone over before, but I wanted to review just because it's always good to review. This happens to be a door. When I travel, I love to take pictures of doors. If you would look at my photo albums, I've got pictures of doors. People know, but doors, yeah. But doorways are a symbol for me of opportunity and new horizons and something wonderful happening. So a doorway that to walk through. So this doorway happens to be in Israel. It's on a, you can look inside and see they're worshiping inside.
This is Kathy. Can I say something?
Of course.
The way I learned to meditate was to focus on the third eye, and the teacher who taught me was a Christian from India, and he taught me to focus on something at the third eye, of vision of light, and he used a cross, a light cross. For me, it's always been a doorway. I've always pictured just this opening up with light streaming forward, and so that's kind of my meditation practice, is focusing on the doorway.
A doorway. Well, it is actually because actually, spiritually speaking, because the third eye is the seat or the center of divine imagination. And divine imagination is our connection to the infinite field of good that God is. Thank you, Cal. So here we are. Behold, I stand at the door and knock, which is what we read in Revelation. So in unity, or at least I like to say, and I think it's probably written somewhere, that spirit is always knocking on the door of our heart, wanting to enlighten us as to what good is right here where we are and what good awaits us. So it's to expand our consciousness, knocking at the door to expand our consciousness and experience of the abundance of God. So Jesus said in Luke, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So let's just anchor in our minds, what do you think the kingdom is? What is it? What is the kingdom that God is delighted, joyful to give us? What's the kingdom?
The universe
The universe of what?
of all of us in the world, the spirit.
Yes, yes. The kingdom is all the good we can imagine, the universe of God's good. What else? What else comes to you when you think of the kingdom?
Unmitigated joy.
Unmitigated joy. Yeah. That's the kingdom. What else?
Consciousness of our divinity.
Consciousness of our divinity, yes. What else?
I'm thinking of the use of the word kingdom, which would mean everything that God has to offer us.
Yes,
It's his principality.
yes. So, I mean, you can get a visual on that almost, and Linda was speaking to that too. The kingdom, I mean, imagine a kingdom, you think of opulence, don't you? And beauty and wonders in a kingdom. And that's what God wants us to have. Wonders and miracles. Anything else come to mind? How about peace? The peace of God that passes all understanding, no matter what's going on out there, or in here for that matter. And how about love? You know, the kingdom is energy of love, all the expressions of love. So that is kind of a foundation for our experience of prosperity, right? To be in a state of joy, to do what brings us joy, to be in a state of peace, a mind of peace. When we're rattled, we don't feel prosperous when we're rattled and upset. I mean, I don't, do you?
No.
No. I don't actually feel prosperous if I'm angry, or I can get out of being angry. But when I'm in anger, if I'm in anger, like I was at my Cleopatra when she pooped on my carpet, I loved her right away, but first I got angry. But you know what I'm saying? The kingdom is an experience. It's an experience of some part of the goodness of God. Enough? And in Paul's letter to the Philippians, he writes, God has a plan for your life and will be faithful to complete it. So prosperity is, I mean, being out of a prosperity consciousness is to worry. So for me, this scripture supports or encourages and exhorts me to not worry about stuff, because God has a plan. If I just keep asking for God's will, the next step, then I'm in God's plan and it will be a good one. Comments? Okay, then. And finally, in Paul's letter to the Ephesians, God is able to do immeasurably more than all we have asked for or imagined. Imagine that. Of all that we ask for, God is able to do way more. Okay, not doing that. No, this is not the PowerPoint I meant to send, Kathy. Is this the new PowerPoint that I sent you yesterday? Huh. No.
You want me to go get something else?
Well, no, I'll just keep going.
Okay.
I thought it might be useful to just take a look at money again, because, I mean, one of the first law, remember, is to tithe. And that's 10% of our income. And most people blanch at the thought of doing that. And I mean, I've come to the conclusion that tithing, because that was my experience, tithing brought up every fear I have about everything. When I heard about tithing as a spiritual law rather than an obligation, a prosperity law, that if I want prosperity in my life, I need to give back to spirit, to where I'm spiritually fed. I thought, yeah, 10%, I don't know about that. But as I jumped across that line, I discovered how I didn't realize it, but I had my own fears about not enough. What ifs? So I think this whole thing about tithing does that. And then we did talk a little bit about what is money and how would you describe your relationship with money. And so you might just reflect on that for a moment. Actually, what would I say about my relationship with money? We had some really good feedback in here too about that. If you look at a spiritual symbol of invisible spiritual substance, I like to think of money as that. It is an exchange of creative energy, what I put my energy into. It's an energy system. Comments or questions? I could tell you're reflecting. Comments or questions? No? Okay. We talked too about faith being the idea of right direction. So what I put my faith in when it's spiritual faith, spiritualized faith, I am pointed in a direction of what I have faith in. So if I have faith, well, I'm speaking of my own experience. Think of your own while I'm sharing mine. That I have faith that even on Fridays, when the sermon for Sunday has not come together, or on Saturdays when I go, oh my God, is this what I'm going to say? I mean, am I saying what needs to be heard? I have grown in faith that on Sunday morning it's going to be okay. My faith points me in a right direction, like just go in that direction. If you have faith in your skills, like you're a CPA, right, or financial whiz, if you have faith in your capacity, it takes you in a direction, doesn't it?
It does.
Seamstress, sculptor, people person,
Knitter.
It takes you in a direction. Abundance, so I'm going to move on here. Abundance is the nature of God. Prosperity is a result of faith that demonstrates the abundance of God. So if prosperity is the result of my faith that demonstrates the prosperity of God, how am I acting faithfully? Am I making decisions out of fear, or I'm making them out of faith? Period. And I mean, that whole thing covers the gamut of our lives. It covers our relationship life. It covers our career life if we have one. It covers our creative expression life. I was talking to someone not too long ago who wasn't doing her artwork. Well, yeah, I don't know if it's that good. No, it's not. That's the faith that demonstrates the abundance of God is I love to do art and I'm doing it. You follow me? You follow me out there? Okay. Going on. Now, this was the assignment for this week. A goal, SMART goals. So it was chapter 2 in the book, the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity, is goal setting. And, many in this church are retired, right? And so I've been thinking over the week, well, I bet they're saying to themselves, man, I'm not working, I don't need to set a goal. But the truth is goals direct or give direction to how we use our creative energy and how we use it in positive, life-enhancing ways. So a SMART goal is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. Let me see what I said in my notes here. was going to talk about Joe Dispenza or I was going to talk about one of our teachings. It's called a framework in unity. And I think I wanted to just put it out here because it applies to goal setting, I think. And that is thinking plus feeling equals a demonstration. When our thoughts and emotions are aligned, something happens. When we're talking about prosperity and goals, when my goal and my emotions about it are aligned, in other words, when I'm excited about it, when I'm feeling faithful about it, when I'm feeling encouraged.
Passionate,
Pardon?
passionate.
When I'm passionate about it, absolutely. Then divine ideas come to me and I know what to do next. Does that make sense? Anybody out there want to say anything? So the book suggests having a goal.
Question.
Didn't I say last time, or was this on Sunday morning, where I said, we're going to practice 21 days of no complaints? It's in the book, right? How's that gone?
And not too well.
You're excused for it because you weren't here.
Oh, it's your Sunday.
21 days
Sunday.
of no
That was
complaints.
Sunday.
I said it on Sunday too,
Yes.
right?
Would you go for 60 or 70? I've had no complaints.
You've had no complaints?
No.
I'm going to talk to Kathy about that.
No.
You mean he didn't complain about one golf swing?
Oh, well, okay.
You hit a sore spot.
Yeah, I keep having to start over too. But I think it's good to keep it in our minds because it's a prosperity practice, really. Because complaining takes us down a negative path, doesn't it? It points our faith in a direction of what else is not going right in my life.
How does goal setting take you out of being in the now?
How does it take you out of being in the
How
now?
does being in the now?
I didn't say it took you out of being in the now. Does it feel like it?
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay, so you think goal setting takes you out of being in the now?
And I heard Eckhart Tolle say something once about setting goals. Don't ask me what.
Well, I'm pretty sure he did, or he wouldn't have written the books that he wrote. He wouldn't have gotten them published. You know what I'm saying? A goal is a disciplined intention for your creative energy. And a goal, hopefully, is something that is important to you. So one of my goals was this past year, well, it's been longer than that, but to get Adventures in Resilience published. That was my goal by the end of 2020. Can you see the SMART? Specific, get Adventures in Resilience published by December of 2020. It's achievable. I believe I can achieve it. I felt divinely guided to do it. Is it realistic? Yes, because I am passionate about writing. Is it timely? Is it time-based? Yes, by December 2020. Do you see how that disciplines my creative energy? I'm either on it or I'm not. I'm either doing it or I'm not. And it's in the now moment. Am I writing this morning? Am I spending a couple of hours writing today to reach that goal by December 2020? I either am or I'm not. So it keeps me in the now. Now, as it relates to what matters to me. Follow me?
Yeah, the
So,
goal doesn't change the now,
no,
because if you have the goal, then tomorrow will be your now.
it
Right?
doesn't change the now.
It doesn't change the now.
No. We
I
still
think
live in the now
Every day, right?
and let the goal guide how we use our now, how we use our moments.
That's what I think.
And I think I get the question though,
Yeah,
in that
It seems
Is
future
there-
based.
Is there something in negative in leaving, am I leaving what I should be doing right now to think about what I'm gonna do tomorrow? Is that kind of what you were?
Yeah, but as she talked, I kind of had a jumble of words come out that it's more like guidance for the now.
Yes, exactly,
Right.
exactly,
There you
exactly.
go.
And yeah, you could get there in your mind, right? Oh, I've got this to do, so I'll put that off. That's why goals don't get achieved. Because there's always an excuse to do something other than work on our goal. The simple things, the little tasks. Yeah, I don't need to, like this morning, what I've been saying is, oh, I don't have time to practice my clarinet. Well, the truth is, if it's important enough to me, I'm gonna get up early enough to get it done before I get here. You know what I'm saying? If it's important enough, I'm not gonna let excuses stop me. So let's get back to a goal. So did you all create a goal?
Mhm.
You did? Oh, Diane did. Let's hear it. Are you willing to
Well,
share it? We can support
One
you.
of them I did was a sort of an immediate goal, and I decided that I needed to get more involved in unity. So I decided that I would become involved in the outreach, and I joined that group.
You did.
And I started to make the mats.
Oh, great.
And I went to the meeting and I learned how they wanted them done. And of course, I know how to crochet. And so I'm cutting the plastic bags and crocheting them, which is difficult, but that's okay. And I also shop at Fry's. So I talked to Kathy and got the instructions on how to make my shopping amount apply to Unity.
Oh,
So I did that.
wow.
And
Wow.
so I did those two things. And then I have another goal for myself, which I'm praying about that I'm not ready to share.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, that's it, but you're praying about, do I want to do it? Do I want to take it on?
I do want to take it on. I'm praying about it, and it's between God and I right now, and I'm not ready to share it.
Yeah, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. So this is a great example. If you all heard Diane, her goal was to become more involved in unity. Can you see this, the way that enlarges her life? There are lots of ways to get more involved in unity, right? But here's what I know in practice, what's worked for me, what's taught, and that is you got to have a goal that stretches you a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And within that goal, there are small steps to take as you outline. I want to get more involved in unity. So the first thing Diane did was she took the step of joining the church. The next thing, I want to be more involved in unity. She joined the outreach team. Next step, deeper involvement. The next thing was she went to their meeting, and then she learned how to knit or crochet mats for the homeless. That's a perfect example of how it works. So thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have a goal that you created for yourself?
Eileen had her hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eileen, I didn't see it. What you got?
I didn't, but that's okay. I'll share. My goal was to eat more healthy.
Okay.
So I've been taking steps. Well, I think I shared with you, Sharon, that I did a 3-day apple cleanse, which was a experience. I've done it before, but it really makes you focus on just this, and you can't, have anything else. And so it's a challenge just to stick with it. And then I've been trying to cook healthy meals and so forth, and try to get my body more healthy.
So did you put a date on it?
Well, I mean, it's the rest of your life, isn't it? I mean,
Let's put a date on this though. So
okay,
it supports you more definitively.
okay,
Maybe Lent, huh? I don't know. You pick.
okay. That's good.
Eat more healthier during Lent. Okay, by Easter. Now, I would love for you to consider what is the outcome of you eating healthier?
It's to have better control of my diabetes. I've had some health challenges because of that, and I want to play golf better, lose a little weight and so forth. And so that's the first step in doing that, is to eat more healthy so that those other things will fall into place because of it.
So I'm going to invite you to consider something. Reverse it. Reverse the order. In other words, just for example, I'm not saying this is it, I'm just saying, I'm listening to you. Just for
Okay.
example, my diabetes is healed. Okay, so if that's my goal, my diabetes is healed by December 2021. Then one of those steps in order to achieve that is I'm going to eat healthier. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think that's all I want to say about that.
So you took the end goal and said, how do I get there?
Yeah, look at the result you want. That's the goal, the result you want. So if I want to be in peak physical condition, which is one of my goals, by the way, by the end of 2021, it means I got to be working out, lifting weights, eating right, exercising. If I want to have my sculpture done by December 2021, then I've got to get the materials. I've got to work on it a couple days a week. You know what I'm saying? So look at the outcome you want. Diane wanted to be more involved in the church. So she took a few steps to do that. Sig.
Yes, I have a goal, and that is to be able to walk again, and I am in the process of doing so. I do walk, but I have cracked 4 of my vertebrae in my lower spine. So my goal is to, I know, and for 2 years I was unable to exercise and keep my body in good shape. So I am now, I do exercises. I do exercise in the morning before I get up. I got a recumbent bike. I do exercise. I do exercise on my QB. One of my goals is to be able to walk around the block, maybe eventually without a cane. And so I'm working towards that goal.
Great.
I haven't set a definite date, but every day gets closer.
Well, let's set a date.
Well, hey, December 2021 sounds good to me, but I would like to achieve it before then.
But at least you've got an end date, so you would put some boundaries around, and boundaries are essential. Actually, we don't like to think we have any boundaries, but when you're working on a creative project, there's a boundary. I'm going to get my taxes done by April 15th, or I'm not. You know? Well, let me see. I want to get my taxes done this year. No, that's not helpful in getting it done. See what I'm saying? So, anyone else? Carol, did you have your hand up? Carol?
I had to go answer the door, so I missed what you were saying.
I didn't hear you.
Answer the door, so I don't know what you said in the last few minutes.
Oh, did I say anything?
I could add that we are probably multitasking goals. we have a vision board on one wall,
Ooh,
and we did 7 of the goals out of 12 last year.
wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Now we got to add some more. But primarily, I think our goal is to really improve our health, and we're doing all the different little surgeries, the different little exercises
diet.
and yoga every day, everything to achieve maximum health for the
And
next.
we write it down. So we keep track of where we are,
Yes,
measuring it.
She writes it down.
yeah. I love that, that word you use. Maximum good health.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. So a year of maximum good health. I repeat the same goal every year. I've done it for many years now, and that is to visit 3 spas a year. Makes me so happy. So thank you for sharing that, guys. Anyone else with the goal want to share a goal before we? Let's see. So you write your goals down. What else? Anything else I wanted to say? Well, what I have in my notes is a couple of things around spiritual tools to support us in reaching our goal. And one of them is our tools of denial and affirmation, as well as prayer and meditation. And so denials, remember, are Cleopatra, is the activity of saying no to what gets in our way. So in this case, since we're talking about goals, the excuses we make not to do what it would take to fulfill the goal. Well, like today, I'm going to have that banana split. Or when my goal is to be free of diabetes by the end of the year. Or today, I'm not going to exercise or use my bike. I just don't feel like it, when the goal is to walk around the block this year. So denial helps us let go of, we just say no to those stoppers, the thoughts that would stop us from heading toward what we say matters to us. So goals are all about acknowledging what our priorities are right now, what matters to us. And affirmations affirm it. So I've often said, have 3 affirmations in your back pocket to replace the excuse. I know what to do and I do it. Or Eileen, what's your affirmation, your famous affirmation?
I have everything I need when I need it.
That's it. So have a few of those in your back pocket when the excuses come up.
Can you explain how to use denials when those excuses come up? You know, do we just go straight to the affirmation to override the excuse?
Well, let me, it sounds so simple, doesn't it? But, you know, it's really, it involves a process. So number one, it involves being acutely aware of what I'm thinking. And if I am making an excuse to not do what is important to me, then all I have to do really is say no. It is letting go of that thought. And in a nanosecond, I've got to think something else. So it's that acute awareness, the saying no, and then shifting our focus, my focus immediately. And get into action in my case. Did that help? I thought maybe to just elaborate a little bit to say that every thought, in unity we say, every thought has life, substance, and intelligence. It has substance. It takes up space in our consciousness. And So a negative thought that comes up for us when we're headed toward doing what matters is taking up space. And so when we say no to it, we've created a vacuum. That space is there, and if we're smart, we'll fill the space with an affirmation, something positive. We just shift our focus, we let that go. It's like taking out the garbage. You know what I mean? I either take out the garbage or I don't. If I'm gonna take out the garbage, I'm gonna pick it up and put it in the garbage can. And then I have a space in my garbage can in the house. Is she making comments, Kathy? Matt is over there making comments. Because I know Cleo isn't talking to you. Let me move on.
Leo just got a new green thing, and so Mac is cleaning out your office. She got a new pee pad.
Oh, that was our goal. One of our goals, keep train Cleo. And one of the steps was get a new pee pad. Whatever it takes. Do you remember the exercises in the books about scary things around goals? We talked about this last time.
Yeah.
And then there was, it came down to, well, let me read them because Mort, you're first here today. Edwin in the book in the chapter on goals says, list 5 scary things that you know you would never do. List 5 scary things that you have always dreamed of doing but not had the nerve to do. List 5 small and only slightly scary things that you could do today if you chose to. Did you guys do that? Anyone do a scary thing? But you know what, this doesn't have to be,
I did the ones that you would never do.
well, you listed that, you got that far.
Yeah, like skydiving, I would never do that. Or bungee jumping, no way.
Good.
Yeah.
And so then you scale it back from what I would never do to, okay, what am I a little scared of that I would do?
Yeah, no, well, the scuba diving, I would try that, I think.
You would try
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I would try that. I love the water. I love to swim. Yeah, and I teach water aerobics. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
So scuba.
yeah, so I would try that. Yeah.
So how about this? In 2021, I'm going to, or 2022, I'm going to scuba dive at the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Put it on your paper. Where was I? You guys, the 5 scary things. So I encourage all of us to do that. I'm trying to think of something I would never do. What would I never do? I would never become a doctor and work in an emergency room. Anyway, I think that's it on goals. I want to just check and see, does anyone want a little help in figuring out a goal? No? Okay. Okay, then I'm moving to number 3, which is the law of forgiveness. So the third law is forgiveness, a whole chapter on forgiveness. And so I wrote in here something that a minister buddy of mine said long ago about it, but it so stuck with me. It made so much sense. Give up all hope of a better yesterday. Forgiveness is giving up all hope of a better yesterday. It relates to what I was saying on Sunday, which is so often, at least there was a time in my life when I spent a lot of time in the past trying to analyze it, and if only I had said something different, done something different, this wouldn't have happened. And then, but there's no way I can go back and change what already happened. So I have to give up hope of a better yesterday. I can't make yesterday better. I can only make today better based on what I learned about yesterday. So forgiveness, I guess in part is, for me, when I think about it, is to always, when I've been in a difficult situation where I need to be forgiving, is what's my lesson? What is God trying to tell me in this that I need to change? Comments and questions, you all?
Yes, I have a comment. Maybe we should use yesterday for a better tomorrow.
Sharon, I accidentally muted you, so you have to unmute yourself. Do you know how? I'll come and help you.
Yes, she accidentally muted you because she's
Oh,
the host, believe it or not.
You're good now.
Okay, you're okay.
am I okay?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Maybe I should have been muted, huh?
I'll never know.
Actually, very funny story.
What?
One of my husband's and my first horrible arguments, he tried to use the remote to mute me. Actually, it didn't work. No,
It didn't work, did it?
No.
Did you all hear that? Judy was saying that in one of their first arguments with her 43-year-old marriage husband, he tried to use a remote to mute you. I love it. What a picture that is.
Actually,
It's not working.
it made me laugh, so the argument was over.
Oh, that's very cool, very cool. Any other comments on forgiveness, your experience with it?
I have a question. I find that when somebody has done something to me and it needs forgiveness, I have no problem saying, it's okay, bless you, go away. And, you know, I don't have any ill will for that person, but I find myself where that person will pop into my mind and I'll feel the hurt, not anger, but hurt again and again. And stuffing it down doesn't seem to help, you know, and I'll say at the moment, I forgive you, you know, bless you. But I still get that hurt. So does that mean that I'm not forgiving?
Well, here's my thought about that. You know my disclaimer, right? What's
Yeah.
the disclaimer?
Take what works and leave the rest.
Yeah, take what you like and leave the rest. I think, and this is my experience as well, that the deeper the hurt, the longer it takes to actually have it erased, or at least to have the charge gone. It's like, you know, there's dynamite that's timed. You know, if you cut the wires, the charge is gone, it can't go off. So I think the same is true with forgiveness. Some things are incredibly difficult to forgive because the hurt was so deep and maybe over a long period of time. And maybe it was, you know, more than one hurt that's similar. In other words, this happened in my childhood, and by God, look, it's happening now in my marriage. Here we go again, right? So it could be, you know, a long-standing deep hurt that takes a while to forgive. And my experience is that sometimes another experience like it can rip the scab away. You know what I'm saying? So But I do absolutely believe and know that if you and I, if we all keep up the spiritual work, I'm totally willing to let this go. And as you were saying, Kathy, when that person comes to mind with the experience, the pain comes back, the trigger got triggered, to again do the same thing. I wish for you all the good things I wish for myself. Bless the person. Um, and I mean, maybe in some reflection time, I would encourage all of us to think of a similar experience now, because my hunch is we've all had similar experiences with things that are very difficult to forgive. And just reflect for a moment on how the action to take, and to look at what have I learned from this that is going to help me today and in the future. Like, for myself, I would think, what did I allow that I will not allow anymore? What did I not say that I will say now? What did I not do that would have been in my best interest to do that I am willing to do today in a similar circumstance? So I think, as I think about it and speak now, for me, what I learned is essential to, what's the word I'm looking for when you want to deactivate something?
Neutralize?
Neutralize, it could be neutralized. Is an okay word too. If I want to neutralize that whole thing.
I think there's something in the language of the exchange too. So if you hurt my feelings and I am not able to say to you, that really hurt my feelings, but I'm able to forgive you for that. But I think you lose something if you can't acknowledge or be aware and let the other person know the effect that it had. So what I heard Kathy say was, in the moment, she might say, oh, that's okay. Well, maybe it's not really okay. Maybe it's, yeah, that hurt my feelings, but I can forgive you. I'll get over it.
Yeah, I think you're speaking to the lesson. What have I learned?
Yeah.
If I didn't say,
Yep,
if I walked away hurt,
I agree.
it's because I didn't acknowledge, it can be, it might be because I did not acknowledge the pain and speak what needed to be spoken, like, please don't do that again. Please don't talk to me that way.
But when somebody does it because they want to hurt you, I mean, that's the objective.
Yeah.
And so if you say, that really hurt, they'll say, yeah, high five. I wanted that to hurt. And I always want you to hurt from this. I mean, so there's no reconciliation possible.
Well, there is for you.
Yeah.
You cannot change the person, for example, who wants to hurt you, if that's where their issue is. But it may not be that hurt me. It may be your behavior is unacceptable and I'm out of here. You do that once more and I'm gone.
And I'm out of here. It's not a hard thing for me to do, though.
What?
I said, and I'm out of here is pretty easy for me to do.
Well, I mean, to do, yes. Not to threaten it, but to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that's one of the learnings, right? I'm just, if that's gonna be the way it is, I'm not participating. I'm out of here.
Right.
Yeah. That's for yourself too.
Do you think that forgiveness is something that we really don't learn until we get older?
Probably.
I found that.
Say-
When you're younger, you tend more to confrontation rather than forgive.
Mm,
And as you get older, you begin to understand, I don't need the confrontation, I can forgive. So but it's something that comes with age.
or experience.
A lot of people, even with experience, don't understand it, I think.
True, yeah. It has to be, you have to be spiritually mature to forgive authentically takes spiritual maturity
Right.
and spiritual understanding. We have to understand that unforgiveness hurts us, doesn't hurt anybody else. That's a spiritual understanding.
Yeah, it's something that we do for ourselves, not for the other person.
Right.
They could care less.
No, right, but in a work environment, you have
Yeah.
a lot of people under stress and everything, and they say things and
Yeah.
they do things that they would not normally do.
Yeah.
And that can create hurt for people.
Yeah.
But the maturity of how you handle it and how you forgive it resolves a lot of things in that workplace.
Yes.
And in a young workplace, I don't think it works. I really don't.
Well, it might not.
I think they take it in, they absorb it, and they are stifled with it.
Yeah.
Okay, rather than learning to let's let go and we'll forgive and go on.
Have you had an experience like that
Oh yeah,
in a workplace?
yeah. Don't forget, I just retired in November,
Yeah.
and the general manager that I was working with, under a lot of stress. And the work I was doing for him, he would sometimes come to me and he'd say, what the heck are you doing? This isn't right and everything. And I said, don't worry about it. Let me know how you want it handled and I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
So, but 30 years ago, I would have been in a panic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You learn how to handle things,
Yeah.
but it takes time. It really does.
Well, time and understanding,
Perception,
Yeah.
perception,
acceptance,
perception,
perception.
learning how to perceive things differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he never,
So give an example.
Well, the thing that worked best for me with forgiveness, and I don't know that it would work for anybody else, but my understanding of reincarnation, frankly, that what happened, we all agreed to. Everybody played their part, did it magnificently. The lessons to be learned were presented. And what was learned from that is individual, and if you learned it way. And like I said, this is personal, but I found people who say, "Oh, I forgive you," is a bit arrogant. I think that really comes mostly from what I perceive as their ego or my ego in doing that. But finding that this is something that we all agreed to so that we could all learn.
You mean whatever was painful?
Whatever event,
Whatever
whatever
the-
situation.
Like what?
All right, I'm going to take my life, for example. Divorce. And I married my husband. He was already married, and then we had an affair. And I had the biggest problem of all was forgiving myself.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the more I grew spiritually, the harder it became. And then I got helped along by the notion that what would have changed had you not done that? What events would not have happened? How would his kids have been affected differently, et cetera, et cetera. And it was like, oh, they would have had a different father to raise them. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all.
Yes, yes.
No, you are, because if you take a look at your life and take a look at all the forks in the road that you took and decisions you made that took you on those forks in the road, you can't reanalyze back and say, well, had I taken that fork, what would have been different? You've made decisions during the course of your life that have taken you on certain paths, and you've made your life out of it. So, and there's just many forks and decisions that we get involved with. So it doesn't matter at that point.
So
what
I
wanna
think,
say
I think that for me, forgiveness is seeing no harm was done.
Is what?
No harm was done.
Right.
Well,
The
maybe
situation
not.
presented itself for you to grow or not grow.
Well, that's where it is. So in spiritual terms, let me talk about crucifixion, resurrection, and we talk about redemption and salvation. So redemption for me is I see what this was all about, this circumstance, an affair with a married man. I see what it was all, I see how I got into this. I see it, I see my mistake. And I look for the good, I forgive what needs to be forgiven, and I look for the good, and I don't do it again. Because you said I couldn't forgive myself, right? Well, one of the ways to forgive oneself in a situation is, I'm not going to repeat that one. I mean, maybe you didn't have a chance to repeat it, but that's beside the point, right? There's a way to be loyal and truthful and honest, and that's what I'm going to be. So redemption is to take something that is painful, hurtful, something that we need to forgive ourselves for and or somebody else, to take that situation and do the forgiveness work in it. See what I might have done differently and resolve to not repeat that same mistake again, or that same behavior, if you don't want to call it a mistake, the
I
same
think
behavior.
it's the essence of forgive them for they know not what they do.
Yeah,
Until you understand completely what it is that you must not do again. That's the essence of it. I spent 20 years teaching in a prison,
oh, wow.
and so it was people that became self-aware and spiritually aware enough to recognize the effect that they had and to not use that energy that way again, that changed their lives.
It does, doesn't it? And that's redemption, right?
Absolutely.
And salvation is, now I'm free.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm healed, it's healed, I'm free.
Absolutely.
I'm at peace with it.
Mhm.
I made my peace. And I think that's what you were saying, right? I mean, you made your peace with it. Or did you
I
not?
guess because I perceived it differently.
But you made peace with it. However you did.
Yeah.
And did it free you from regrets?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's salvation.
Yeah. I had a relationship with my stepdaughters that I held myself back from thoroughly engaging in a marvelous, loving relationship because of my lack of forgiveness for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can be hardest on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any comments out there? Yeah, Eileen?
One of the things that I was going to say that I was taught a long time ago is if you've been hurt, look and see inside yourself if you've ever done the same kind of thing that that other person did. put yourself in their shoes and see what kind of response they're giving you, because maybe you hurt them first. Maybe it's a retaliation, or maybe it's something that's in you that's just being pointed out that you haven't come to peace with yourself. The same thing that she was talking about learning the lesson from it. But I find if I say, oh, did I ever do that myself? I understand where she's coming from then. I understand that I've been in that same position and maybe I did the same kind of thing. And now I can say, oh yeah, I have done that. I can let that go because I understand how she felt when she treated me that way, because I felt that way before too. And then I can let it go because I realize, we're all just human, and it wasn't maybe an intent to hurt, but just something in the moment that was a retaliation for being hurt first.
So it lets everybody off the hook, doesn't it?
Yes.
We let people off the hook because, I mean, I do that when I'm driving. Huh. So if someone cuts me off and my gut automatically starts churning, I have to say, have I ever cut anyone off before? And I gotta say, yeah, I'm sure I have. I know I have. So it lets me off the hook, it lets them off the hook. I'm not mad at them. Heck, I do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and the lesson is, don't do that, Sharon. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Okay, let me see what else I want to say about. Oh, Edwene talks in the book about techniques for forgiveness. And she was talking about affirmations, and I think someone here spoke to that. Create an affirmation beside me. Each night, she talked about each night, take a look at the day and see, have I put anyone outside my heart today? And then that needs some forgiveness work. Forgive myself for getting, upset about it, forgive them. And I've been sober a long time in AA, 34 years, coming on 35. And one of the steps in the 12-step program is the 10th step is continue to take personal inventory. Continue to take personal inventory. And when I'm wrong, promptly admit it. So when I'm wrong could be, did I take offense at someone, at things someone said, or did I offend someone by something I said or did? I take that inventory and then I look and see and pray for the person, or resolve that I'm going to do it differently, or make amends to the person. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I did that. What can I do to make it right? So it's a spiritual practice.
Sorry, is it right to say that then rebalances the energy? The energy?
Yes, that's a good way to look at it. Say more about that. What you had a picture in your
I
mind.
did completely, because I pictured you approaching somebody that you have an exchange with, and they may be tense because you said something, and then by entering into that again and saying, I'm sorry if I offended you, that lets the steam out of the bag, sort of, or lets them come back into that neutralizing area.
Yeah. Then they have their choice, but I've taken care of, as we say in 12-step programs, I cleaned up my side of the street. Let's see, anything else on forgiveness? Okay, so that's one technique. At night before going to bed, just do an inventory. She also said, Edwene said, that she does a complete inventory once a year. And one of the ways to look at that is, are you all familiar with the 7 deadly sins?
Yep.
Come on, Mort. That's exactly what I said.
Wow. Wow.
I didn't know. we
So
had
in
it.
unity, we don't like that word sin, but it's defined as missing the mark, or the way I see it is, there are divine ideas. If I have distorted, or my behavior, or what I've said, or even thought, has been the opposite of a divine idea on the spectrum, then I need to change that. So the 7 deadly sins, let me see if I can remember them. Anger, which I think is really resentment. It's perfectly human to be angry, but what are we gonna do about it? Anger, sloth, laziness, I'm not gonna do it today, I'm not gonna do what I said I'd do, not keeping my word, sloth, greed, envy, jealousy, oh gosh, lust,
Gluttony.
and gluttony. There it is, got the 7. Gluttony and lust lust is not necessarily sexual. Lust is, I'm lusting after something I don't have. Gluttony is, I never have enough love. I never have enough appreciation. I never have enough. I never have enough. So an inventory would be to take a look and see, in every area of my life, in my relationships, how am I doing with my family, my friends, my business associates? Am I as happy as my dog? And then the other thing she suggested as a technique in forgiving it's cleaning up our hearts. So, there's lots of space for love. Forgiveness puts a catheter on our abundance, our enjoyment of life. She said, tell someone else, share it. In the Catholic Church, which I was raised in, it's confess. In Judaism, it's atonement, right? Day of atonement. In all faith traditions, there is the practice of confession in some way. We take an inventory and acknowledge to ourselves, and in the case of 12-step programs, another human being. Catholicism, you go to confession and tell a priest. You share it with someone else because it releases the energy. It's not like keeping it capped. And when it's capped, it affects us, believe me, in subtle ways. Okay, whew. Well, this has been fun.
Yes.
If you say
yes.
so.
Did someone say I don't think so?
If you say so.
Oh, if I say so? Well, it's been fun for me. Has it been fun for you?
Definitely.
No, what I really mean, it's been a very sincere, heartful time together. And that's always fun. When we go deep, it's always good. I mean, that is for me anyhow. Okay. Next time, last class on this is next Wednesday, and we will get into life purpose. Any closing comments or questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
So next Wednesday is still in this book?
Yes, it's the last chapter.
Okay.
Purpose,
Divine purpose.
divine purpose. Yeah. And so think about it during the week, reflect on it, and see if you can come up with words that define your understanding of your purpose in life. Our purpose in life is not our career, but it's how we do our career. It's how we be, no matter what. Okay, are we ready to close with prayer? Kathleen, would you like to pray us out, given that you're a chaplain?
Okay, so let's close our eyes, take a deep head to toe cleansing breath. and settle in our heart. We're full of gratitude for this opportunity to come together and learn the lessons that were ours to learn today. We're grateful for Reverend Sharon's understanding that she's able to transmit so well to help us all on our spiritual journey. So thank you, God, for the technology. Thank you, God, for the experiences. Thank you, God, for the camaraderie that we all come to in these classes. We praise you and we bless one another in the name and the nature of the Christ presence within us all. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah. I was gonna say, I want to ask this before we say goodbye for now, and that is, do any of you have a book or a topic that you would like covered? Because I'll continue to do the 10:30 classes on Wednesday. We're next doing the 4 agreements. But do you have anything that you would really love for us to explore?
I think we should have a class on meditation and how to meditate.
A class on how to, you know, I did a workshop a while,
I've
last
had
week.
a couple of people have even mentioned it to me that we need that.
A class,
Yeah.
okay. When did I do the workshop on meditation, Kat? It was Ash
Wednesday.
Oh, it was Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, we could go today. A week ago today. It was a good workshop, Mort. Sorry you missed it.
Yeah, they were, Cal was gambling their. Okay, meditation. Anything else?
Any suggestion about books? Did you?
Yeah.
Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza's book? Okay. Anything else? Okay. So maybe after the 4 agreements, I'll do a meditation class.
Yeah, and then I would let know the congregation when we're together.
Yeah.
There are people that are interested in that.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day. See you next Wednesday, same time, same place.
It's gonna be 80 today.
Yes. I have to tell you,
Yeah.
Sharon, I shared your blonde joke with some of the ladies that I helped teach water aerobics to. They loved it.
Sharon, good to see you out.
The alligator joke?
Good to see you out and about.
Thank you. Good to be out.
The alligator.
That was really strange.
Yeah, right. We went
It's
through a
good.
good
It's
15
good.
minutes of
Oh, really?
exercise and they didn't even realize it. Yeah, they loved it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love that joke. That was excellent.
There is a whole world out there that knows you tell these jokes on that
Yeah.
sermon.
That's the art. It's beautiful. That's nice.
Okay, have a good week.
I don't sing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
That's the one I finished last week. That's, I